Let's go.
That's where we are. We're going.
So what a festive day. It is our final episode of the year of 2025. It's amazing, Lenny. It's amazing, right?
It is. It is. In episode 114, it never ceases to amaze me that we've been doing this for 114, well, more than that, weeks, but 114 episodes. So
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. So not only is it a festive time of year, happy holidays, everybody. If you're celebrating Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah, celebrating Christmas next week, Merry Christmas, have a happy New Year. We will not be back till January because we will be partaking in festivities.
Yep.
As we do. But we really do want to celebrate kind of the year end. So let's talk about what we've done this year.
Yes, absolutely. Not only we can talk, we can show.
We can show and tell. All right. So, Lenny with a brand new shiny toy is experimenting with notebook LLMs. So, Carly, thank God for Carly shared some stats with us about what we accomplished this year. And, Lenny's working in notebook LLM. And the next thing you know, we have an infographic talking about it. So 46 episodes this year, 46. It's just so the numbers do really floor me sometimes.
Yep.
11,000 times our episodes were viewed across our listenership. So that's exciting to think about. That's significant, people. That's significant. 897 hours of content watched. This isn't even the CEO series or the Green Book podcast. This is
the exchange. Just the exchange. Yes. Thank you to our audience.
Thank you to our audience. It's really fun to do this for you and to bring you this value. But can we talk about the bottom left here, Lenny? What the March 21st? And
what is it? I don't know whether that's correlate to those specific episodes. Not sure, but yes, March 21st and April 21st. Those were
those are when our listeners tuned in the most were those two dates. So. Yes. That's so interesting to me. I don't know if 21 is our magic number, but maybe it is. So who knows? But I'm down for the coincidence of the two different days. And is it any surprise what our hot topics were?
I know. I was like, and
I love that they made this one circular: AI agents, fraud, automation, ethics. It's like progress, but wait.
Yeah. And actually, we should just point out one technical thing. Like literally, right before we started, I thought, let's load this into Notebook LM.
Yeah.
And it just took this list and generated this infographic with zero input.
Yeah.
Zero direction. Yeah. It just took it and created the infographic.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it, blame Google.
Yeah. I mean, in an ideal world, this would be in Green Book colors, and we would have run it by marketing first and all that. But we literally did this 5 minutes
right.
before.
But to your point, that's pretty cool that it made the circle of those topics with the brain in between. It's like that's pretty contextually astute.
This is what resonated with our listeners. And I do really want to call out, I'm so glad Carly pulled these stats together, that our number one episode of the year was, when good data goes bad, the $10 million fraud shaking the industry. I mean, if you asked me to say that off the top of my head, I'd probably get there. The big data quality scandal that hit us last year.
Yep.
That was momentous for us. So of course it's the one that everybody wanted to hear us talking about. So that makes a lot of sense to me. And look, the second one, also fraud related. Interesting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Like even at the bottom is your research line, which is a fraud issue. So yes, and guess what? Sneak peek. I mean, it pops up again this week in new news. So we'll continue to cover these topics. Because I could argue almost everything we talk about falls into one of those buckets to a great extent.
Really true. One way or another. Well, except that, I guess let's stick with AI and we will get pretty quickly to agents. But There's some holiday stuff that I want to talk about. I think we've talked a little bit about this, like kind of what's going on, changes to human customer behavior.
Yep.
So Carla, we can kind of pull the image down because we'll move into like topics of the week. We'll have a surprise for you later, another image.
We
perhaps.
do.
But, AI tools are changing the holiday shopping game significantly. So Adobe actually reported in this article on what they have found, in some of their research. But AI tools could drive through $263 billion in holiday sales this year.
Yeah.
So have you used any? Because again, I've done it again. I've gone right to ChatGPT and entered some information, like struggling to come up with a gift idea for he doesn't listen, my 24-year-old son. Here are some things he's interested in, and it gave me a score of an idea, and I'm like, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
I didn't use an agent to purchase because I had to talk to Tim, and then Tim had to do some other research, but the idea stemmed from AI, so I think it counts. It was an AI tool assist.
So I haven't used it quite that way, but I've definitely for recommendations. If I used it for search and for research on specifically, I've used Rufus quite a bit.
Rufus. We talked about it last week.
Yeah, it's Amazon. So yes, but what was really interesting about this, and this is happening in real time, guys. So this is the first big holiday with agents, the shopping season. So we are seeing this transformation in real time. But the generative AI platforms, shoppers arriving on retail websites from Gen AI are 30% more likely to buy something and about 14% more engaged. And to your point, your example, that makes sense. If it's making really targeted recommendations,
really targeted. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense because it gave me it told me what I should, gave me the idea. So I was primed to buy because I'm like, great idea. I want to buy this now. So I very engaged because I was excited about the idea, and then, definitely likely to buy. Super interesting. And I think that we're going to get more and more of this. This other article that we have that's kind of related is Stripe. I don't know if anybody's seen Stripe in action, kind of a financial services company that does payment, make payments easy and all that. But Stripes has now introduced the Agentic Commerce Suite. So basically a solution to help businesses get ready, not just for the purchase, but discoverability in AI, kind of helping with that, simplifying the checkout process. Like Stripe is like, we're in this game also, and we're going to make it easier for people to get this AI discoverability while we're helping them process their payments. It's just what's going to happen. So retailers really need to be paying attention to this because retailers, brands, anybody in the e-commerce shopping equation. It's happening.
But even not just that, we've talked about it multiple times, bring it up again, like what in this world, right? Where it is easy. So you still press the button, but you could see easily maybe where you didn't, right? Where you just set it up and let it run. When we're doing shopper insights, path to purchase, all that, those things are fundamentally changing. So and it's retailers or brands, whoever, trying to understand the drivers of selection. All of these things are now being impacted. Any norms we thought we ever had on predicting buyer behavior out the window, guys. That it is unreliable at this point because this seismic shift is happening right now. Is it everybody? Nope. But the ship has sailed. We cannot make the same assumptions about anything that drives buyer behavior.
And you think about back to that first piece that was on kind of the holiday sales. There was a number cited in there. I'm trying to remember. I forget who she was, but anyway, a shopper who said she usually takes about 15 hours to achieve all of her holiday shopping, like 15 hours a year, which had me, considering how many do I put into holiday shopping? I never quantified it. Okay. But you think about and she talks about the time savings, the efficiency gains, the ability to kind of delegate holiday shopping so she can enjoy the holidays. It's not dissimilar to what we do in our work world. Like if we can kind of assign these tasks to achieve operational efficiencies to AI, we're going to do that. And we'll have hopefully, a little more quality of work or higher level strategic work or time for those types of, strategic initiatives. It makes perfect sense that consumers would ultimately start doing this as well. Like, why wouldn't I want to save time in my personal world? Like,
right. 100%. Look at the example of that infographic.
Yeah.
It took Carly more time to pile those stats than it took to create that infographic.
For real.
Now, is that a deal breaker? No. Does it maybe enhance the experience, the storytelling? I would argue maybe not in this specific scenario, but in general, likely yes.
Yeah.
To your point. So there's hours of work, you pay a designer, blah, 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 days, right?
Yeah.
We're now achieving in minutes. Is it perfect? No. But to your point, the efficiencies gained and augmentation, right? Potentially actually a better experience across the board. All of these things, we cannot argue against them.
Yeah.
So,
and we're not the only ones who feel this way. So we have an article or a link to the Insights Association article. Chris Beale is behind this piece, or he's put his name to it with some information they gathered about kind of looking ahead. What aspects of technology excite you the most or concern you the most in terms of impact on the insights industry? So it's kind of a summary of a bunch of different professionals that chimed in with their kind of things they're excited about and things they're concerned about. Full disclosure, I took that piece and I threw it into an LLM and I said, can you summarize this? What's the biggest concern? And what's the biggest thing that people are excited about, right? Because, too long didn't read. But the biggest excitement across that piece was transformative efficiency gains. Like basically that is it, because AI is speeding up research, turnaround time, freeing the team to focus on analysis, et cetera, improving the participant experience. Like there's a lot going on, and those AI efficiency gains are really what the industry is most excited about.
100%.
Same. I share that excitement. So it also, for the record, said that, quality, guess what? Biggest concern. So it said misuse or erosion of quality when AI is adopted without strong human oversight. I think we talked a lot last week about human oversight over AI, and that partnership between humans and AI. So that's the biggest concern, is that that's a little bit unyielding. So very interesting.
It's also, I thought that was interesting that the folks in there were more from kind of smaller agencies, which are probably the companies that are adapting the fastest overall to this, because just they're just more nimble. So it was interesting to get that perspective from the bulk of the representative of the bulk of the industry, right? Are small to mid-sized agencies. So that was interesting
Stuff. So no surprise then what the majority of the kind of news is about this week, right? So show me the money. Start there.
Show me the money, right? Fluency, the 40 million.
Fluency raised 40 million in Series A to boost automation and agentic AI. What do you know about Fluency? I don't know much.
It's ad management platform, but it has built-in metrics, right? So I mean, they're doing. I don't know if they're going as far as brand lift, but there's certainly there's a advertising awareness and exposure component in there as well. Data, so it's not just a marketing component.
Just yes, money. Once again, money. That's where the money is. And can we just say, you have a dog that just jumped? I'm like, is that Danielle rummaging through there? And she's no, that was a dog getting comfortable.
No, that's Iggy. He likes. There's a chair back there, and he likes to sit on top of the chair on the cushion. So. The gate was closed, but evidently not closed firmly. So, one quick note though, just anecdotal on that, and I lost it. I had
because I distracted you with your dog.
I guess, or the dog distracted me. Never mind if it comes back.
The money, the Series A.
The money. Yes. So somebody asked me this week, I was talking about something else. I was like, well, what's the VC activity been like so far this year? I haven't paid attention. It's like, dude. But, and so I pulled, which we don't need to worry about here, but I just did a search and pulled all of the investment activity in this industry this year, and I didn't quantify the numbers or anything, but there's 100 at least. So so anybody and here's just one more example, right? I mean, money is just pouring in. So I expect Simon Chadwick will do some they usually does that analysis, and I think this will probably be one of the biggest years we've ever seen from VC. Would be my guess. All right, more products. Integrad Science. They launched their IAS agent. This again kind of gets into activation and insights. They measure everything on the marketing side of things, but with data. They've been out here actually. They've had multiple new releases this week, or in the past couple of weeks. But
well, it's interesting. This next piece also. Anthropic and Block and OpenAI with some others created the Agentic AI Foundation. And Integral Ad Science was kind of quoted in that. So I'm like, well, that's interesting, because the idea is that they want agentic AI tools for advertisers and marketers to stay open and collaborative. So, and then Integral Ad Science will have a better product as a result, right? Of some of this open model. So I just thought that was really interesting that they formed an alliance.
They did. Well, and Integrad Science runs off of a panel. So I mean, they have a large global panel with some passive metering technology, is my understanding, for measuring ad exposure, et cetera, et cetera. So that human and AI coming together, but it is driven by human data. So interesting.
Pretty cool.
The Alchemer Pulse. They're applying things like, I expect, similar to Notebook LM is my guess, trying to take data into intelligence and actionability. So we're seeing a lot more of that. It's interesting. Do you see? I hadn't thought about it right now. Kind of the first wave was all about data collection, right? And now we're really seeing a push towards actionability, of crossing the chasm to.
And this one, something I read in this brief is also about kind of they're an AI powered insights automation platform. And so now, and the next article that we have also is about kind of automated insights. So it's nice to see the dots being connected from AI and automation, kind of working in tandem. We've talked about automated insights before. We've talked about AI-driven insights before. Now we've got AI-driven automation. So anyway, kind of full circle. So, so we just shared about Alchemer, but Amplitude introduced their automated insights, and they're working on it. This is interesting. It does say in this brief, and I'm not sure, I'd have to fact check this, but they say they're the first AI platform that truly functions as an expert analyst, not only reporting what happens, but explaining the why. That's what they're claiming they were first. I'm sure we've had this conversation before about other ones saying that they're the first. I don't know if anybody can really claim that they're the first, because there's so much happening concurrently right now.
Right.
But yeah, I like the idea of, we're analysts, we've got that going in tandem. It's not just data collection. We are analyzing what's happening and we're making it usable.
Yeah. And in that particular scenario on product data, right? So why did product A do better than product B? Why are more people going for Heinz versus never mind. So,
versus the Trader Joe's ketchup that I bought that my family will never forgive me for.
Yeah, some of the Trader Joe's stuff.
Mom, when this one's done, can you please go back to the Heinz? And I'm like, oh sure.
All right, broader tech developments.
Yeah, I'm really.
You found this one. This was interesting.
Well, this was interesting. So there's an article. MIT has outlined how P&G is pairing AI with some of their traditional methods, and I thought it was interesting because I don't know if it was just last week or it was 2 weeks ago with Rick, but we shared what Unilever was up to, and saying like, take a look at what these behemoths are doing with AI. Because don't think for a minute that all the other brands aren't going to try to emulate that and work towards that if they haven't already.
Yep.
So obviously part of what was interesting is, and I don't know if you know of, because I know you are close with a lot of folks at P&G and have gone to their vendor fair and et cetera, and consult with them regularly, but they have an AI factory, which has like a vehicle to rapidly develop and test and deploy and monitor, et cetera, to help with their production. And they gave this great example of Pampers and the MyFit application of Pampers, which uses the results of an AI-driven questionnaire to provide parents with diaper fit recommendations that are 90% accurate for preventing leaks. So here we have a real pain point, leaks. Anybody who ever changed a diaper knows leaks are just unacceptable in the world of diapers. Like, no, you want your child to be comfortable. You don't want leaks. You don't want, anyway. So big pain point that has to be solved for with the diaper. It's kind of the reason they exist. 90% accuracy with diaper fit recommendations. And it's an AI driven questionnaire. So I love that they publicized this and have this very strong use case for it. But I also think it's really interesting that they have, this AI factory. Like basically they've put internal resources towards all the other use cases that are cited in this article. So, go back, listen to the episode again. I can't remember last week or 2 weeks ago where we talked about the Unilever, article about what Unilever is doing as well. Read them in tandem if you are on the brand side. Pay attention to what they're doing and make sure you're keeping up with those Joneses.
100%. I had a conversation with somebody at Unilever this week that I can't get into the details of why, but they were embracing a fully AI-driven answer process. I'm going to call it a research process because it's different. There was no primary research involved. But in their specific use cases, which were interesting, challenging, that for them, having a human expert, utilizing AI to get to the answers in specific business issues, was like, what? Where have you been my whole life? Right. I mean, it was revelatory for them.
Pretty cool.
So 100%. I thought the OpenAI now finally opening up third-party apps inside ChatGPT. We'll see how that plays. But I thought that was really interesting. So my guess, if you build off of OpenAI, any app, including research apps, now they have an app store. So,
well, which is interesting because I don't know where in our sequence it was exactly, but I don't know who Casey Accidental is. Like, I don't know who that is, but you found this kind of an op-ed, somebody who studies scale or scaling, really talks about how these agents are really changing perceptions and usefulness of marketplaces.
100%.
And so if you're tuned into this and your ears perked up a little bit when we're talking about these third-party apps, take a look at this other piece too and think about what does this mean for the marketplace model. Not to call out any names, but you know who you are. Take a look.
Right. Well, it goes back to the shopping thing. It's the same thing. It's about there's now an intercessor, in between. And what is the role of the marketplace? And because you used to go to the marketplace and then the discovery process through the marketplace. There's another piece there. And thought that was interesting. Let's go back to this Meta one because I thought this
for real, right?
This is definitely more in our wheelhouse, and I'm aware of some other stuff that Meta's been doing. So Meta, new partnerships to ingest real world conversational data to improve its AI. They also, I happen to know that Meta is spending significantly to capture behavioral data outside of their ecosystem,
Yeah.
as many other companies are.
Yeah.
So, and they took an approach, we didn't talk about it a few weeks ago. They published a paper on the human AI collaboration is the best approach to get to AGI. And it was really wonky. That's why we didn't publish it. It was no big deal.
Yeah.
But they seem to be really leaning into that and
Yeah.
spending money overall. This idea that the perfect combination is AI driven, curated by humans, and driven by human data.
Yeah.
And
well,
that's
and
where
what
they're
this
placing
piece
their bets.
talks about, is that Meta's platforms, whether it's Facebook and Instagram or whatever, it's not necessarily original human content anymore. There's a lot of resharing of things, but it's not. Users are no longer like, Facebook, the big thing used to be like, what's on your mind? And people would type in what was on their mind, right? Back in the day. And so they were getting all of this original thinking, but now it's a lot of like sharing this or sharing that or forwarding this article,
memes and
all of it. Right. So, same with Instagram. If you're on Instagram, yes, of course there's pictures, but there's a lot of people you're following who are producing professional content, and that content is being reshared and shared again. So they don't necessarily have the real world conversational data that they deem important in continuing to grow and nurture their AI models.
Yep.
And then they kind of kicked it over to Reddit being, like the bomb, the place where all these conversations are happening, which just makes you think, Reddit, like, Reddit is because it's anonymized. It's their models might end up being stronger. I wonder what their future play is when they have all of these human conversations taking place. What's going to happen over there, and when are they going to get into this kind of conversation? I don't know the answers, Lenny.
Well, I mean, they're licensing. They're one of their major revenue streams now is licensing to AI. I think I've seen that Reddit is the dominant feed in almost all LLMs. When compared to search and all of that, like if you're looking for something, Reddit pops up quickly, and they're making a ton of money there. But I'm not a Reddit user, so I do not know what the bot issue inside Reddit may be like. I just don't. I'll click a link once in a while, but I never go on to Reddit for anything. But but to your point, human data.
Reddit is, to me, my use of Reddit, full disclosure, is like, I needed a new planner for 2026, and I was sick of the planner I had, and I end up going into the planner community to see what everybody has to say about their planners, to kind of see if anybody speaks my language in that community. And the next thing you know, I've bought a new planner, which is the best planner, and I'm very excited about it. But it's that kind of thing. Like, I go into Reddit for a very specific, like, I need to read, what are people saying? What are some reviews of what real people are saying? So for what you will, it's a very specific use case for Reddit that pops up every now and then.
Well, and I wonder if they'll, at some point, things like Discord or whatever may, or even Medium comments or Substack comments or whatever, right? There's lots of opportunities there where those organic, authentic conversations are happening. And those are increasingly important, as are research communities and primary research. And
let's segue into research communities, shall we? We have big news. We're getting towards the end of our show, but big news coming out of the Insights Career Network. As you may or may not know, I've served on what is now called the Advisory Council. So kind of a board that was, again, an advisory board. But they have announced officially this week, Monday was a big meeting where they've launched ICN 2.0. It is officially 501c3 status organization. And they're going to be, scaling up career support and, research for research and analytics and insights professionals. It is now a new governing board led by Simon Chadwick. And so, from where they began at the end of 2021 into 2022, totally volunteer led, of course, but they have grown with a membership of over 3,200, a LinkedIn following of 30K, massive growth. And it's great news to see that this new status will allow them to collect some funds to pay for some programming, and just really help them develop the resources they need to help serve the community. So pretty cool stuff.
It's very cool, very and fantastic resource. Big fan. Hopefully, we'll find some opportunities to partner with them in other ways.
They're contributing content with us regularly, which is great. So, we have an Insights and Career kind of expert channel on our site, and the powers that be there are producing articles for us to publish. We're trying to get those out there to be a resource for people, and we always do something at IIX, at least in North America. So yeah, we just keep on keeping on. So it's exciting times.
Very cool. Well, and that's probably a good segue to the final article, which I thought was just really, really, really
It is firewalled. So unless you are a subscriber, you cannot see this article. So I'm disappointed, although I have seen it corroborated in other places. So, you go ahead and talk about what you found interesting. Short story is a Wall Street Journal article talking about storytelling roles kind of surging at these tech companies, which, everybody who knows anything in insights knows storytelling is a big part of what we do.
Right. But so not just the tech companies, though. I mean, so I'll dig, Carly, before we post that, I'll see if I can find a
non-firewalled link.
Yeah, because it really was interesting. That's become a big chief storyteller, right? Things like that, big roles, back to the jobs, folks, $200,000-$300,000 roles, considered central now across the organization, to get to effective storytelling. My thought was, well, I know a buttload of researchers that are ideal for this, and especially qualitative researchers. And what really stood out to me was this idea that, okay, data is ubiquitous. We're creating infographics in a second, right? Whatever. To humanize the connection, right, and really get it over the line for people. I think as automation increases, the need for authenticity and connection is increasing as well. I see that in my kids. They hate all AI generated content, despise it because it's inauthentic. They want storytelling, they want context, they want connection. It's cool that the brands seem to be recognizing that, and the point the Wall Street Journal would say here.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So speaking of how quickly stories can come to life, we have one more graphic for y'all before we leave, which is a graphic. Thank you, Notebook LLM, right? A graphic that shows kind of the themes for this episode, that's how quickly it comes together. So, we
literally like 5 minutes, 10 minutes before we went live, just loaded up the links to the articles into Notebook LM, which is free, by the way. There is a throttle on how many production. I already hit my throttle on my limit on presentations, but
that's so funny. But a couple things we like about this. So this is a recap of our episode today. So, it starts off with that shoppers using AI assistants convert 30% higher. That's worth paying attention to. So I'm really glad it pulled that. Rise of agent optimization. Yes, we talked a whole lot about agentic AI in this, right? The marketplace models are vulnerable. Yes, we talked about that. So human value moves from analysis to storytelling. Yes. So who was it? There was the piece where they're like, I think it was, anyway, I'm not remembering who it was, but they were talking about they're now doing analysis. They're the first, and it's like, yes, okay, get to storytelling. Our AI is not doing that yet, even though we did a lot of automation. So,
I have to say just that if you please experiment with Notebook LM as a tool. I can see it fitting into so many workflows in the research space. I have not gotten to the point where I've tried to customize any of its outputs, right? But it is still amazing that this is contextually accurate. It's not just AI slop, right? I mean, these graphics that are compelling and interesting and contextually relevant to the content. And that's pretty crazy. And again, this literally took like 5 minutes. That was just it's just creating it. That was the time of it, just creating the graphics. I didn't do a damn thing except load up the content. I literally loaded up the links that we have, and clicked the button for an infographic.
And my suspicion is always two things. Lenny knows. My suspicion is, cite your source AI, but we know that 30% is the number. And that 14%, kind of engagement. Those were numbers we were going to be talking about. We saw that in the article. So they didn't make that number up. It's real. It's from what we shared. I also like that sometimes when we've done this in the past, the images that they pull aren't necessarily, they don't really help communicate a story, right? But here, look, there's that robot holding a package.
This is pretty cool.
Down at the bottom, we've got data provenance is the new competitive moat. That looks like a castle to me. And, and it's got some of these, kind of walls up protecting that data. That's interesting. This is a woman. So again, going back to bias, bottom left, a lot of LLMs were criticized for not having enough kind of females at the ready. Here it looks like a woman based on not just kind of the type of hair, but also the style clothing. Like it seems to be like this is a female storyteller, insights professional in my I have no real issue. I'm not quite sure about the water up here on the right, but I'm
not sure. But
not sure what that means, but I'm not going to judge it because the rest of it I can understand the story it's telling. So. Cool stuff.
It is. And takeaway here is, guys, and this is beta. To be clear, this is beta. It's so this is a tool free in beta.
Yeah.
It's going to get better.
It's going to get better.
So we need to just experiment over the holidays. I've been having fun with this. Like literally, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make an infographic for something I would have never thought about making an infographic for before.
So funny. I can almost guarantee I will not be experimenting over the holiday break.
But it is kind of addictive. It's a different.
No, I know. I understand. I will save my experimentation for January. I plan on doing some good old fashioned R&R over this break. There's been a lot, and this one feels like I need a reset. Start my year 2026 with a new everything, a new kind of excitement for the year to come, because 2026 is going to prove to be a very exciting year. I'm sure of it.
It is. I'm right there with you. Our oldest daughter and our foster daughter, whom we don't see that often, coming in next week, and nice. Looking forward to just having the whole family watching Stranger Things on Christmas Day, New Year's, relaxing. Hope our entire audience does as well. I agree. 2026 is going to be a hell of a year. So,
yeah, it really is. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like I said, going back to those beginning stats, thank you for showing up for us. That's why we keep showing up for you. And have a wonderful time until we see you again.
Absolutely. So happy holidays. Happy New Year. Talk to you in January.